Murray, the world-famous Australian escapologist, who was Karl's good friend and mentor, accepted a challenge in 1933 to escape from a strait-jacket whilst in a cage of 5 lions. That escape took place at the Bertram Mills Circus in London's Olympia at the start of the final winter season week. Bertram Mills was so impressed that he booked Murray to repeat the escape for the rest of the week. It was the only time that the name of an artist appeared on posters above that of Bertram Mills, and Murray was the only performer to ever do this dangerous escape. In August 1985, Karl was booked to do an escape stunt to publicise Canadian Club Whisky and Peter Jay's Hippodrome Circus in Great Yarmouth. Out of courtesy, he asked Murray if he could do a similar escape to Murray's 1933 one, and was delighted when Murray gave him the go-ahead. Over 2 days, Karl had to do photo shoots and the escape twice. The last one was especially dangerous, as the lions were no longer confused as to what was going on, and fully realised that Karl was helpless prey. The video you will see is of that second performance, where extra precautions had to be taken.
Life with the Lions. Tonight, escapologist Karl Bartoni repeats a terrifying feat last performed 50 years ago. Also, why pedal power is the in thing at Milton Keynes this weekend. And the countdown begins for the region's biggest fundraising pop festival, Anglia for Africa. Well, all that later, plus of course a roundup of the weekend sport. But first to the news desk and David Clayton.
Them. Now let's move on to an escapologist, the man who hit the headlines 3 months ago by getting married dangling from Blackpool Tower has been living dangerously again. Today at Great Yarmouth, escapologist Karl Bartoni made his escape from a strait-jacket the hard way. For watching his every move were 5 hungry lions.
When 36-year-old Karl met his 5 co-stars, the act of hanging from Blackpool Tower paled into insignificance. Why was he doing this?
Well, really to emulate my teacher, who is now 84, but he was the first man ever to attempt this escape. No one's repeated it ever since until today. He tried it in 1933 at Circus Olympia in London, and he completely became successful with the escape. He got out of everything unscathed, and I hope that that happens today.
Well, how do you get on with lions?
I really don't know. It's my concentration has to be on the straitjacket and getting out as quick as possible, trying to ignore the lions, but I mean, how can you ignore 5 lions?
Well, I gather they haven't had any breakfast yet.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Despite Karl's bravado, his wife Wendy said this was one challenge she wished he hadn't risen to. With Karl safely bound and secured in his straitjacket, just his head exposed, it was time for an entry of Clarence, Nero and the other 3 male African lions, ominously described as unpredictable.
Okay, you all right, Karl?
Yeah, hurry on. While the lions looked on, fascinated by the strange goings-on in the ring, Karl struggled on the floor to break free from his bonds. The animals looked fierce enough, but as Karl wriggled his way out of the straitjacket, the lions left him alone. In less than 3 minutes, he was clear and undoing the final bonds from his legs. Then, without wasting much time, he grabbed the rope that was to take him out of the lion's den. Success, but Karl was sure of one thing: he won't be doing it again.
It's beyond description how it feels inside there. From the very first movement, which was falling off, which wasn't planned, I wasn't supposed to fall quite like that. That winded me slightly. While I'm wriggling about, apart from the difficulty of getting the straitjacket, I could keep catching glimpses of the lions, and they look very menacing at that close quarter, I can assure you.
Wendy, now what was it like for you sitting watching from outside the cage?
Well, Karl actually asked me to take some cine film, and I was so worried that if I got it wrong he would kill me, that I was more concentrating on the cine film than anything, and I think that is why he asked me to take some cine film.
She's getting cute.
You didn't want him to do it, did you, really?
Well, no, I mean, I don't really enjoy him doing anything, but if that's what makes him happy, then that's fine by me.
Then, by way of a punishing encore, a group photograph, especially for the newspapers. For Karl, it was a distinctly uncomfortable photo call.
If that's what makes him happy, what makes him sad? That's what I'd like to know. Now, we've had a glorious day.